Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to this channel right now. If you are a man who understands the value of history, legacy, power, and smart investment, this is your place. Subscribe, because today we are uncovering something that most people overlook, but a few wise men quietly search for. Now imagine this, that it's 2002. South Africa, a nation rich with struggle, strength, gold, diamonds, and resilience. In that year, millions of coins were struck and released into circulation. Most people spent them without thinking twice. Some dropped them in jars. Some lost them in drawers. Some forgot about them entirely. But among those ordinary coins was one piece of metal that would later command extraordinary attention: the South Africa 1 Rand coin. Dated 2002. At first glance, it seems simple, solid, modest, practical, a coin made for daily use. But gentlemen, men between 35 and 65 understand something the younger generation often forgets. Real value hides in plain sight. Now let's look closer. The 1 Rand coin is not flashy. It is not oversized. It does not scream for attention. It carries the proud national symbol of South Africa. It represents strength, unity, and sovereignty. It was produced during a time when South Africa was stabilizing economically and politically after major transformation. It represents transition, endurance, identity, and for serious collectors, context matters. The metal composition of the 2002 1 Rand gives it durability. It was designed to survive circulation. It was meant to last. And that is important, because coins that last carry stories, and stories carry value. But here is where things become interesting. In 2002, not all 1 Rand coins were exactly the same. In the world of coin collecting, and many of you watching know this, small differences create massive value shifts. A tiny minting error, a slight die variation, an off-center strike, a rare batch, a limited production anomaly. These are not accidents to a collector. They are opportunities. Men in their 40s, 50s, and 60s understand opportunity differently. You've lived long enough to know that wealth is not always loud. Sometimes it sits quietly in your pocket for years. Now let me ask you something. How many coins have passed through your hands since 2002? How many times did you receive change and never look at it twice? The 2002 South Africa 1 Rand became particularly interesting because certain versions were found with noticeable differences in strike clarity, alignment, and edge definition. Some coins displayed sharper detail in the national emblem. Others had subtle variations in lettering thickness. Some showed spacing differences in the year marking. The average person. These differences mean nothing. A trained eye. They mean everything. In the coin world, condition is king. A circulated coin with scratches and wear holds one type of value, but an uncirculated, mint condition 2002 1 Rand, preserved carefully for over 2 decades, tells a different story. Think about it. A coin that survived untouched for 24 years, no heavy scratches, no corrosion, no major wear on the design. That is rare. Now combine rarity with demand. Over the past decade, collectors across the globe have shown increasing interest in African coinage. South Africa, being one of the most economically and historically significant nations on the continent, draws serious collectors, investors, historians, even museums. Why? Because African numismatics is still undervalued compared to European and American coins. And smart men, especially those in their mature years, recognize undervalued markets. When global attention shifts, prices move. The 2002 1 Rand is not just a coin. It represents a specific period in South Africa's economic history. It represents post-apartheid financial stabilization. It represents modern African monetary identity. Collectors do not just buy metal, they buy meaning. Now let's talk numbers, not the final number yet, but the factors that influence value. Mintage figures matter. How many were produced? How many survived? How many exist today in near-perfect condition? Over time, coins disappear. They get melted, lost, damaged, forgotten, destroyed. What remains becomes increasingly scarce. Scarcity creates tension. Tension creates demand. Demand creates price escalation. And here is something many people overlook. The psychology of collectors aged 35 to 65. This age group often has disposable income. They are not just collecting for hobby. They are collecting for legacy, for investment, for something tangible they can hold, pass down, or display proudly. A 25-year-old might chase digital trends. A 55-year-old understands the weight of metal. The 2002 1 Rand carries that weight. But there is another layer. Error coins. There have been discussions in collector circles about specific 2002 1 Rand coins showing striking inconsistencies, slightly rotated dies, double impressions in lettering, faint doubling on design elements. These so-called error coins are not common. They are not easily found. But when discovered, they ignite excitement because errors are not supposed to exist. And when something is not supposed to exist, yet does, it becomes desirable. Now imagine this scenario: a man in his late 40s cleaning out an old drawer finds a small container of coins saved from travel years ago. Among them, a 2002 South Africa 1 Rand. He almost tosses it back, but something catches his eye. The lettering looks different. The edge feels unusual. The design alignment seems slightly off. That he investigates, that he compares, that he consults experts. And suddenly, what was once pocket change becomes a talking point, a centerpiece, a potential windfall. This is not fantasy. This is how coin legends begin. You see, the market does not explode overnight. It builds quietly. Forums discuss it. Private collectors trade information. Auction houses test demand. A few high sales set new benchmarks. Word spreads. Men who pay attention win. The 2002 1 Rand also benefits from time distance. It is old enough to have history, yet modern enough to be accessible. It is not centuries old, which means examples still exist in hidden places. But it is far enough removed from circulation that pristine examples are harder to find. That sweet spot drives interest, and let's be honest, there is something powerful about holding a coin and knowing that millions ignored it, but you did not. That feeling matters. That it's the same instinct that drives smart investments in undervalued property, rare watches, classic cars, or overlooked stocks. Most people follow noise. A few follow signals. The 2002 South Africa 1 Rand has been quietly building signal strength. Collectors analyze varieties. Investors track auction whispers. Serious numismatists compare condition grades. Grading matters more than people realize. A coin graded at a high mint state level can multiply in value compared to a circulated example. Tiny differences in luster, strike sharpness, and surface preservation separate ordinary from extraordinary, and extraordinary commands attention. Now consider global currency shifts. As inflation rises in many parts of the world, tangible assets gain renewed respect. Precious metals, collectibles, hard assets, coins sit at the intersection of